The Sabaody arc is an arc that really plays on one's emotions, and in case you haven't seen this arc, then some spoilers for the entire arc, you have been warned. The Straw Hats' next destination is to go to Fishman Island. After that was pretty much the next place after they left Water 7, but they got trapped onto Thriller Bark, and now that they've escaped Thriller Bark, it's off to Fishman Island, which means going through this place, and this place isn't what it seems to be. On the outside is this beautiful place with a lot of really nice colors. It's so colorful and vibrant. I love the bubbles just sort of floating across the place. You have a beautiful theme park. It's just a magnificent island. It's my second favorite looking island after Water 7, but despite how pretty it all looks, it's not what it seems to be. It's also the place where a bunch of world nobles go to auctions where they buy slaves, and it's a pretty disgusting place. It's really sickening to watch, but it makes for a really engaging story. You can make an entire subplot on the slavery and what goes on behind the scenes. I mean, there must be a lot of stories to tell, especially with certain characters that we're going to meet in the next arc. But these world nobles are absolutely disgusting people. They are so detached from reality and the real world that they don't even have any sympathy for other humans. They live in their own little bubble, pun intended, and only care about the people in their noble families. Just a horrible bunch of people that do deserve to be punched in the face, but no matter what people say to them or do to them, they get their own ways, because if there ever comes a point where the slaves escape, then the color explodes and they die. If someone attacks them, then they basically call an entire fleet of navy admirals to them. Very insane. But the only reason why these people are important is because they are the descendants of the original people who formed the world government, which is some interesting backstory and lore. But this is the arc where we truly see how the fishermen people and mermaids are truly treated in this place. There's a lot of discrimination and hate and fear when it comes to them, and people just don't like the fishermen. It's really sad, and it sort of does correlate to our real world when it comes to that. So when Luffy's new mermaid friend gets kidnapped, and after one of the noble people attacks Hachi, Luffy gets so mad and he attacks the world nobles. He punches him in the face despite Hachi telling him over and over again not to assault them, but Luffy can't help it. He's Luffy and he attacks him, and my gosh, the animation of him punching that world noble was unexpectedly insane to look at. It was really beautiful. It's also the arc where we finally get to be introduced to Law and Captain Kidd, who will pretty much have more of a role later on in the story. It's cool seeing them. I forgot how early on they appeared in the story, and I love the dynamic of the three of them. I feel like Luffy and Kidd in particular are very similar. They're very short-tempered people, and they're very hot-headed, and they really clash with one another, which makes for a lot of comedic gags. And speaking of comedic gags, the entire arc starts off with the Straw Hats meeting the flying fish riders, and their main captain has the same bounty face as Sanji, and he has a pretty sad but hilarious backstory. In terms of characters that got some pretty big development in the Straw Hat Pirates, I feel like Nami and Luffy both got development. With Hachi returning, he was a notorious member of the Arlong Pirates, and he was there when Nami was at her lowest point growing up in the Arlong crew, and him being there, you would have expected Nami to be a lot more unforgiving, but after everything she's been through and seen, she's very forgiving of Hachi. She hasn't forgiven him entirely, but she can let bygones be bygones, and I'm like wondering how they're gonna do this in the live action, because I feel like Emily Rude's version of Nami is a little bit more unforgiving when it comes to these certain things. She's a bit more grounded in reality, and I'm wondering how she would respond to Hachi when the live action eventually gets to this arc, if it does, and to Luffy as well. I mean, he has fought many strong people before and he's always come out on top, but this time he wasn't able to win, and he even admitted defeat, and he told his crew to run away and to try and figure a plan, and he lost all of them. It was sad seeing him break down and him feeling like he failed them. Very sad, very touching moment, dude. In terms of the bad of the arc, I don't really have anything bad to say with this arc. It was pretty good. I don't quite quite have anything negative to say, apart from the fact that that entire arc with Sanji meeting Duval, who had the same face as him, did feel a little fillerish, but it did reintroduce us to Hachi, and Duval's backstory was pretty sad, having to run away from the Marines after his face was used for Sanji's bounty. I mean, man, to be accused for a crime he didn't commit must have been pretty damn tough on him, you know? Even though the dude wasn't a really nice person, he wasn't that extreme when it came to committing crimes, and I kind of felt pity on him. Yes, the action animation in this arc really enhanced, especially their battle against Kuma. But yeah, I don't have anything negative to say with this arc. It was pretty well done and very sad ending as well. I think I'll give it a 9 out of 10, and I think I'll give it an A. I liked it a lot. What do you think of the arc? Tell me, like for more. Thanks for watching. Boy Did Review signing out.